Hello all. In this video, we are just going to demonstrate external interrupt using Raspberry Pi PicoW. Let's get started. So as the first step, we are just going to discuss about the schematic diagram that we are going to build in the breadboard for demonstrating the external interrupt. And then we will move to the Tony IDE for developing our Python scripts required for demonstrating external interrupt. And then we will explore how the external interrupt or the interrupt works in a Raspberry Pi Pico. So for demonstrating the external interrupt, we are just going to use this particular onboard LED available in Raspberry Pi Pico. In addition to that, we are just going to use a push button which we are going to connect it to GP16 of Raspberry Pi Pico. So just consider this is the push button which has two terminals, and one end of the push button I am just going to connect it to GP16 of Raspberry Pi Pico, and other terminal of push button I am just going to connect it to ground of the Raspberry Pi Pico. So this is the schematic that I am going to build. One end of the push button will be connected to GP16 of Raspberry Pi Pico, and other end I will be connecting it to ground of Raspberry Pi Pico. And I will be using this particular onboard LED available in Raspberry Pi PicoW development board for demonstrating the external interrupt. So the application that I am going to build is, whenever I push and release this particular push button once, I am just going to change the state of this particular LED. That is, if it is on before, I will make it off, and when it was off before, I will make it on. So this is the application that I am going to build, but this time I am not going to use the infinite loop. Instead, I am just going to define an interrupt handler or interrupt service routine for serving this purpose. So let's understand how an interrupt works and how you can define an interrupt handler in Micropython code. I am just opening the Tony IDE, and here I am just going to click on this particular icon or Control N in my keyboard for creating a new untitled Python script file, and here I am just going to save this file. Just click on this particular save icon or Control plus S in your keyboard. This computer, move to the location where you want the project script to be stored. Here I am just going to save it as exti. The first and foremost thing that I am going to do here is I am just going to import the machine module, and further I am just going to import the time module for using some of the time methods, that is for creating some rough delays. And this particular machine module is useful for using the methods related to GPIO pins and external interrupts. And as the first step, I am just going to declare a global variable called LED, and I am going to configure the onboard LED pin in my Raspberry Pi Pico as output pin. So for that I can write or use the method machine.pin, and the pin name is LED. We very well know that for using the onboard LED pin, we just want to configure the LED string pin as output pin. So the second parameter of the method is, you just want to provide the configuration that you want to do. So I am just going to give machine.pin.out. So this will configure the LED pin in my onboard Raspberry Pi PicoW development board as output pin. Similarly, I am just going to make the GP16 pin of the Raspberry Pi PicoW as input pin, since we have connected a push button to our GP16 pin of Raspberry Pi Pico. I am just going to do the same here. Machine.pin of 16. Second parameter is, I just want to provide machine.pin.in, and here I just want to provide a third parameter, that is the configuration of input that I want to do. In my case, I have connected ground to the other end of the push button, meaning that I just want to enable the pull up resistor in the GP16 for configuring the push button in pull up logic, which means whenever I press and hold the push button, I will get a low signal, and whenever I release the push button, I will get a high signal. And the third configuration that you want to do here is, I just want to call the method IRQ and for the parameter of this particular method I can provide the trigger parameter as the first parameter. That is nothing but you just want to give mission.pin.irq falling. The second parameter is the handler parameter. So here I'm just going to give button int. So the first parameter tells that we just want to trigger the interrupt whenever there is a falling edge, or you can give it as rising edge. In my case I'm just giving it as falling edge because I have configured the push button in pull up logic, which means that whenever I press the push button I will get a falling edge, and whenever I release the push button I will get a rising edge. So whenever I press the push button, as per the configuration that I have made in this particular line, I will get the interrupt triggered whenever I press the push button, and whenever I release the push button I will not get any interrupt triggered. And the handler for implementing the interrupt, or the IRQ handler or the interrupt handler or the interrupt service routine for this particular interrupt right over here is button int. You can give whatever name you want here, there is no restriction, but you just want to provide a name for the interrupt handler or interrupt function. I'm just going to define the interrupt function right over here, and I want to pass a parameter called pin. Inside the function I'm just going to check if the button value is 0, that is whenever the button is pressed I just want to provide a half-second delay for debouncing purpose, and I will toggle the state of onboard LED. And after this I'm just going to call the button IRQ method, and I'm going to pass the same interrupt button underscore int. That's it. And below this, for testing purpose, I'm just going to provide a dummy infinite loop. So the way the interrupt works in the microprocessor is a bit strange, because until now we have seen only the infinite loop method, where we will be writing down the logic of everything inside this while of true, and it will be repeatedly executed because this is available inside the while of true or infinite loop. But the interrupt method is bit different. Here we are having nothing inside the while of true, and the Python script will be held here doing nothing. The Raspberry Pi will be held here doing nothing, and whenever we press the button which is connected to GP16, this particular interrupt right over here, the button interrupt or the external interrupt, will interrupt the processor with a handler button int. And the processor, what it does is it will execute this particular handler right over here, which is defined right over here, once. So this particular handler button underscore int will be executed once whenever the external interrupt is triggered to the processor. So that is the logic. Even though the processor is held here doing nothing, whenever the interrupt is triggered, the processor passes whatever it is doing right over here, and it will come to this particular handler and it will execute every line inside this handler. And after executing all the lines inside the button underscore int handler, it will go back to the while of true and it will resume the process it was left before there. So this is the basic interrupt method terminology. So it is the most efficient way of handling various processes in a processor. So I hope you understood how an interrupt work in Raspberry Pi Pico or in any microprocessor. Now I have already connected my Raspberry Pi PicoW to my PC through micro USB cable. I'm just going to run the program by clicking on this particular icon right over here. And now let us visualize the output in the hardware. You can see this is the output which I got in the hardware. Whenever I press the push button once, the LED is turned off. Whenever I press the push button again, the LED is turned on. So each time when I press the push button, the LED state is toggling. So this is the output which I got in the hardware. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.